I'm always a little hesitant with videos like this for two reasons. The first is I don't want to mislead people into thinking that there is a perfect solution when it comes to rigging out your camera. The second is I don't want people to feel like they have to buy something to make their kit more complete. The truth is everybody's ideal camera rig is going to be a little bit different and there's no perfect solution. That said, I created the perfect solution. For me. Welcome to the channel. My name is Jeremy Burchard and I am one half of the pop rock duo Moonlight Social. In addition to making all our own music, we also make our own music videos, short films, and I'm a director and cinematographer who works with all kinds of clients. Here on our YouTube channel, we don't just share our music and videos, but we also talk about the gear and techniques we use to make them. If you dig that kind of thing, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to grow and make better and better videos for you. Alright, before I do a rig rundown of this beauty, let me explain what I was looking for when I started building the rig. Also, just about everything I mention on here will have a link in the description, and those are affiliate links. So if you click on one and buy literally anything, it helps our channel at no extra cost to you. So thank you for being dope if you do that. In most of my work, I am a solo shooter. I'd say about 60 to 70% of the time. The other times I have a small crew helping out. So when building this rig, I really needed something that I could use by myself and something that I could easily go from tripod to shoulder to handheld to gimbal to car mount with as little changeover time as possible. For those who are curious, the camera here is a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K and the lens is the Vazen 28mm anamorphic. But this rig will work with most cameras and lenses, so I'm calling it my ultimate Blackmagic rig, but as long as you've got a camera that's a similar size, it should work. Alright, let's talk about the foundation for this entire rig. You ready? The most important piece of gear on this rig is an Arca Swiss mount. For real, the Arca Swiss mount allows me to move the camera between the shoulder rig and the DJI RS2, which in turn allows me to use it in all of its variations. The biggest piece of the rig is the Sony style VCT shoulder plate and the VCT tripod adapter. For anybody familiar with like news and broadcast cameras, a lot of them use the Sony VCT mount. It's also a lot more popular in cinema with bigger cameras, but I genuinely can't believe I haven't seen more solo shooters utilizing these mounts. They're amazing. You can literally go from a tripod to shoulder in a matter of seconds. Sure, it adds some bulk to the rig on a tripod, but it's so incredibly useful. Shooting on your shoulder provides a level of control that you just don't get while trying to use your hands. It's a perfect way to make your footage feel handheld, but still controlled, especially for something like the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, which doesn't have built-in image stabilization. These arms are also made by SmallRig. They are rosette extension arms that really easily attach to the VCT mount and extend based on your comfort level. The handles are from the Tilta Nucleus M follow focus system. They allow me to control the two focus motors I have up here on these nice carbon fiber rods, which are also SmallRig. I really appreciate SmallRig. So thanks to the Nucleus M, we've got control of both the focus and the iris. I personally don't have a motor for the zoom, but that's also an option to add up here. When I've got the camera on the tripod, I swing these arms backwards and use them to give me lots of control over the tripod, as well as controlling the lens with the Nucleus M system. Plus it kind of makes me feel like I'm in Star Wars or something. As far as the top handle goes, it's really just a simple Camvate top handle with a NATO rail compatibility that connects to my small rig camera cage for the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. Moving to the front, I've got this monitor set up perfectly in front of me so I'm not craning my neck to try and see the back of the Blackmagic screen. And here's what's really cool about this monitor. It can actually control the camera via Bluetooth as well. It's the Portkeys LH5P, and it's one of the only monitors I know of that can control the camera. It's certainly one of the only ones in this price range. So basically, I have all the controls I need for the camera at my fingertips without having to take it off my shoulder. I managed to rig this up using a combination of small rig parts, including this extension bar with 1/4-20 threads all up and down it. Moving to the back, where we power everything, I've got 2 more short small rig rods in the back and a Camvate V-mount battery plate with enough inputs to power everything on the rig except for the NucleoSIM handles, which require their own batteries. As for cable management, I use these amazing little Sprig cable management hooks. They're like one of the secret weapons on this rig because they allow me to keep everything clean and tidy. I have them running throughout various points of the rig, and we also have cable clamps attached to the small rig cage to make sure we don't have any unwanted cable yanking for both the power cable and the HDMI cable. I also have separate power cables for the monitor and camera, as well as a separate HDMI cable, which all stay on the rig. So when I remove the camera from the rig, all of the cables stay here and they're ready to go for when I want to put it back. Speaking of removing the camera, it's super simple. All I do is loosen the NucleoSIM motors a bit, loosen the Arca Swiss mount, and take the camera off. That's when I've got the typical handheld rig ready to go. From here, I can easily transport the camera to my DJI RS2 rig, take the top handle off, balance it. The whole process usually takes like less than 90 seconds. From there, I can also attach the RS2 to the Tilta Hydra Alien mount, and in a few minutes, we are ready to go with car shots. So basically, I've got the ability to switch from shoulder mount to tripod to handheld to gimbal to car mount in just a few minutes. As a solo shooter, saving that time is such a big deal, because time is usually one of the most important resources in these scenarios. So what do you think of the rig? Would you use something like this? Let me know in the comments, and if you have any questions, please also feel free to ask them down there. I will try to get to them as quickly as I can. In the meantime, check out more of our Gear Talk videos here and watch our short horror film Sad, which was made using this rig.